Hi, Reddit. First time posting here. I'm 27 years old, and until recently, I was engaged to someone I believed was the love of my life, Lena, who's 26. We had been in a relationship for 4 years, and for the majority of that time, it felt like everything clicked. She was warm, intelligent, witty, and endlessly supportive. I really believed I'd won the lottery. I proposed on our 3rd anniversary during a trip to a cabin in the Smoky Mountains. She cried when she said yes. We picked our wedding date to be exactly a year later, April 5th. Matt, my best friend since high school, is 28. We've been through thick and thin together. He helped me move multiple times, covered me financially after college when I was broke, and even looked after my mother during my surgery recovery when I couldn't be there myself. He and Lena got along well, too well, in hindsight. At the time, I thought it was a good thing. Planning the wedding was hectic, but exciting. We booked a beautiful historic estate as our venue and hired a live band. Lena's parents pitched in to pay for the cake, which she insisted on ordering from an upscale bakery in Charlotte. It cost over $1,000. The week before the wedding, Lena brought most of her belongings to my apartment as we began combining our lives. On the Tuesday leading up to the big day, I had to stay overnight in a hotel an hour away for a work training session. I planned to return by Wednesday afternoon. That night, though, I realized I had forgotten my laptop charger home, and I had a presentation first thing the next morning. Around 11 p.m., I drove back to the apartment to grab it. As soon as I walked in, I sensed something wasn't right. The lights were off, but I noticed a pair of men's shoes near the door, shoes that didn't belong to me or Lena. I thought maybe her brother had stopped by. I walked into the bedroom, and there it was, Lena and Matt in bed together. My bed, the same bed where, 2 months earlier, she had cried happy tears after we chose our wedding rings. They both froze. Lena screamed. Matt looked like he'd seen a ghost. I didn't say anything. I just turned around, walked out, and slammed the door shut behind me. I spent the night in my car, parked outside my mom's house, completely unsure how to even begin explaining what had just happened. I couldn't sleep a minute. By morning, my phone was blowing up. Missed calls from Lena, Matt, Lena's sister, her mom, even her aunt. They all repeated the same nonsense. It was a mistake. She's just nervous. She still wants to marry you. And the kicker, but the cake is non-refundable. 2 days later, I finally texted Lena and told her the wedding was off. I said I'd be mailing the ring back. That set off a firestorm. Her family lost it. They insisted nothing serious had happened, that it was a moment of doubt, and that I was being immature for canceling everything over one mistake. Her father actually had the audacity to tell me, "If you walk away now, you're wasting 4 years." That's even more selfish than what she did. Unfortunately, that wasn't the worst part. About a week later, I met up with James, another close friend, for drinks. He'd been distant during the whole wedding planning process, and now I knew why. James confessed that he knew something he'd kept from me. Apparently, Lena and Matt had been sleeping together on and off for nearly a year. It started at her birthday party. After everyone else had left, James walked in on them kissing in the hallway. He thought they were drunk, and it was a one-time mistake. But it wasn't. He caught them again later. He never said anything, because he hoped they'd cut it off before the wedding. He didn't want to be the one to blow up our lives if they were just being reckless. But they didn't stop. They just got better at hiding it. Those late-night study sessions Lena claimed were for her graduate program, Matt was her tutor. That weekend, she said she was helping her sister move. She was actually out of town with him. I confronted Matt over text because I knew I wouldn't be able to control my emotions if I saw him face to face. So I chose to confront Matt through a text. His response? "I never meant for any of this to happen. I still love you, man. Please don't hate me." This man had slept with the woman I intended to marry. He had deceived me for nearly a year. He even stood by my side at the engagement party, raising a toast like he wasn't hiding a knife behind his back. After that, I cut both of them out of my life without hesitation. I blocked every number tied to her side of the family. I called off the entire wedding. Even though it meant losing thousands, including the non-refundable honeymoon deposit. But every dollar I lost was worth sparing myself a lifetime beside someone who had never really loved me. It's been 6 months now. I've started going to therapy. I haven't spoken a single word to Matt since. Lena messaged me last month to say she was sorry, that she'd never stop loving me. I didn't bother responding. I don't care how much that cake cost. I was the one about to pay the real price, a life built on betrayal. I turned away from all of it, and I didn't look back. I thought walking away would be the hardest part. It wasn't. The silence that followed was worse. People didn't know what to say. Friends chose sides. My phone stayed quiet for weeks, except for the occasional check-in from my mom or a reminder about therapy appointments. People I had known for years suddenly vanished. I assume they didn't want to be caught in the middle. Some even kept Lena in their lives as if nothing had happened. I felt like I was invisible, discarded, and worst of all, easily replaced. I kept replaying everything, wondering just how long I've been the one in the dark. That weekend in the Smoky Mountains when I proposed, was she already sleeping with Matt by then? The birthday party they organized for me. Was I just a punchline to their private joke? The overthinking became suffocating. But one person helped anchor me, my younger sister, Riley. She had never liked Lena. I assumed it was just big sister instincts. But a few weeks later, she told me something that stopped me cold. She always smiled a little too much when Matt was around, Riley said, and he could never look you in the eye if Lena was in the room. I hadn't noticed it. Or maybe deep down, I just didn't want to believe it. When our original wedding date came, it felt more like a memorial than a missed celebration. I took the day off work, turned my phone off, and went fishing with my dad, a tradition we used to do every Father's Day. He didn't say much, just quietly handed me an envelope halfway through the trip. "Your mom wrote this before she passed," he said. "She asked me to give it to you before your wedding day." I wasn't sure if I should, but here, that night, alone in my apartment, I opened the letter. Her handwriting hit me like a wave of grief all over again. She wrote that love should never leave you confused, that if I ever found myself explaining away pain as part of love's package, I needed to leave. Real love, she said, should be your safest place, not something that makes you feel like a prisoner. If it starts to feel like a cage, it's no longer love, it's control. I broke down. She'd been gone 3 years, but in that moment, she saved me again. 2 months after the wedding fell apart, I got a message on Instagram from someone I didn't recognize. Her name was Sarah. She introduced herself as Matt's ex-girlfriend. We met up for coffee. What she told me turned everything I thought I knew upside down. She and Matt had still been seeing each other, while he was sleeping with Lena. She only found out about Lena because of me, when she saw the wedding cancellation announcement. Her suspicion led her to check his phone. She uncovered not only Lena's messages and photos, but proof that he had done this before. A year earlier, he had betrayed another woman in the same way, with one of her close friends. For Matt, it wasn't about love. It was a game. He got off on stealing what wasn't his. Women who were committed were his favorite challenge. It was never about Lena. She was just another prize to him. I don't know if she realizes that yet, but one day she will. That realization came full circle at a family event, a cousin's wedding, 3 months after mine should have happened. I almost didn't go, but Riley convinced me to show up. "Stop letting their choices dictate your happiness," she said. Lena was there. She looked different, not worse, not better, just faded, like the spark she used to carry had dimmed. We caught each other's eye from across the room. Eventually, she walked over. No dramatic apology, no begging. She just stood beside me while I watched people dancing. "You look good," she said. I didn't respond. "I don't expect you to forgive me," she continued. "But I need you to know, Matt ghosted me 2 weeks after you called off the wedding. I thought we had something. I guess I was wrong." For the first time, I looked directly at her. I didn't feel anger, just pity. "You weren't wrong," I said quietly. "You just chose someone who treats people like toys. And you decided to play along." Her eyes welled up. "I lost everything," she whispered. "No," I replied, finishing my drink. You gave it away. That's not the same. And I walked away. For good this time. It's been almost a year since the truth detonated my life. I've changed jobs, moved to a new place. I'm dating again, carefully, slowly. I trust people less than I used to, but I've learned to trust myself more. Losing Lena and Matt shattered me, but over time, I've come to see it for what it was, a blessing in disguise. You shouldn't have to beg someone to stay. And if someone won't fight for you, they were never meant to be in your corner in the first place. No matter how beautiful cake is, it's not worth swallowing betrayal. Just keep pretending everything's sweet.